Hey, good morning, traders. Hope you guys and gals having a great week. We're off to a fantastic week in Playbook Trading Room. Wanted to bring you a quick trade review video this week, so kind of get you guys all set up for the rest of the week if you're interested. How to trade gaps and how to really maximize trading from day trading standpoint and stay disciplined. So let's take a look what's happening here. This morning we have two trades, RTX and LTHM. LTHM was our first trade here. So let me pull up the chart. I was just looking at RDM as a possible short. So LTHM was our first trade. Right here was the LTHM 26 by 25.70. So that was the trade review on LTHM. And actually, you know what? I'll show you because I just did the trade review for the traders here on LTHM right here, and I did a full review as to what are the rationale, and now I'm going to walk you through of this entire trade, how this all set up. So let's take a look. LTHM, you have this daily chart, rising moving averages, trend is up. You've got a pullback here, not the ideal pullback because it's pretty fast pullback, too fast, too quick, down to the 200 period moving average. You get a little bit of bottoming tail yesterday, and today we gap over this red candle, almost what a 75-80% of the red candle get negated. What happens here is also trigger daily buy setup. You're still above the 200 period moving average, and we have targets right around here, this area, the area of resistance, so about 60 cents. And from here, it's all about drilling down to how do we find targets? And this hourly chart, and this is how I scan daily, weekly, hourly, and then intraday charts right here. So on the 1 minute chart, I couldn't have gotten this because this was not a tier 1 gap, but there was an entry right here. But what was even a better entry here, because now you've got a green bar with volume, and then you've got a small rest bar. Now, one could say, or those that just want to sell something will say, oh, 10-cent stop. No, this is almost this is 80-90% of the time it's going to get stopped out because it's too tight. I want to put a stop right here at 25.70. Actually, I gave it a little bit lower stop. As you saw, my stop was to 30-cent stop here on this trade because the alert went out 26 by 25.70. I could have used a 20-cent stop, but in the morning I like to go a little bit wider stop. But nonetheless, it went to 25.60, gave a nice, beautiful 2-hour trade. This is what happens in these trades. This is your first setup. The second setup, very likely, highly likely, 80% of the time it works. So what we could have done is 26.20 add and reduce right here, and still would have made really good money on LTHM. So that's one trade, got out of the way. And then second one was RTX, and this is a trade that we took, and the short was 84.85, and then we got out at 81.90. So I could just walk you through here, but I'm going to pull up the charts here as well on RTX. This was just fantastic gap down on RTX. You can use the 5-minute chart. You could use the 2-minute chart. I'm on 2-minute chart at that time of the day, but 5-minute chart was also a 1, 2, 3 pattern setting up here on RTX. From the gap standpoint, you've got a long-term base here, staying bullish above all moving averages, and today is gap down. So gap down was a little bit more than what I would have liked, but other than that, it was beautiful gap coming out of a small green candle. So it's a tier 2 gap, but could be tier 1. And then we have targets all the way up to about 200 period moving average, and then now it's it obviously gets bounced right here. So a little bit of a bottoming tail here, but this is really support setting up right here. So support was 81.60, and that's where we end up taking targets. So that's what's so important to understand the weekly chart, and then that's where really you find support on these gap ups and gap down. And sometimes if they're blue skies, there's no support or resistance. But so let's take a look on this one, 2-minute chart. Now this right here, if you can learn anything from this video, learn about this bottoming tail here, because this is a range expansion bottoming tail, RBT. So remember that, range expansion bottoming tail. So why it's so important? Because this right here candle, because remember what I said earlier, the gap down was a little too big. You want to know what I said here? Because one of the traders we were talking about this morning, and I said RTX best gap. I passed because it's oversold. So right now, and right here, I didn't want to short it, but now this range expansion bottoming tail had no follow through. Now it has my attention, all the attention in the world. Look at the volume here on this range expansion bar. And now it's beautifully setting up around $84 right here. You could have done 83.75, but I really wanted this at the whole number. So 84, you put a stop at 85 right above here, 10 cent higher. 84 by 85, and then it gave no headache all the way down to the target. It went to 81.50. I got out at 81.90, which is more than enough for me. So 2 hours on 2 trades, 2 for 2. If I don't know who isn't happy on going 2 for 2 on a day and leave the rest for the market and others to take a stab at it. But right now, if you're looking at RTX 5 minute chart, and your 15-minute chart, this is actually a 15-minute sell setup right here, 83.30, stop at $84 right here. I would go a little bit higher here, so about maybe 84.20ish, and this could really, really sell off because if you look at the, you look at the Qs are also a little bit weak here. So I always have the Qs chart. I'm also watching the market here as well. So Qs are also setting up. So if Qs break down, this falls through, you have a nice trade on your hand. Actually, I just sent a message to the team that this may be setting up for the second time. So hope you like it. There are other things that's setting up. I mean, actually, now that you guys are here, and I just gave you a nugget of a range expansion bottoming tail. You want to see a range expansion bottoming tail? This is at GE, and I can show you the chat, my chat scripts. I would like GE long. Why? Well, look, the pullback was really little bit more. Uh, it's much more than what I would have liked. But look, this range expansion, this candle, no follow through and got bought. And this is a really nice gap, really nice gap. Type action, railroad, moving averages, and then gap over this. I mean, I'm kind of upset that I didn't take it, but hey, not gonna catch everything. But giving you nuggets here on a range expansion bottoming tail. Keep that in mind. Look for your patterns. Stay disciplined. Good things happen.